Hello and welcome to this day taste challenge. We have two blended Scotch whiskies, both produced under a royal warrant for the Monarch of Scotland, who is Queen Elizabeth II, also Queen of England. That means they are an official whiskey supplier to the royal family of England, Wales, the Bahama Islands, Canada, the Cayman Islands, the British Virgin Islands, Christmas Island, Gibraltar, Ascension Island, St. Helena Island, and other realms and provinces and territories around the world. All right, anyway. Okay. Johnny, let's see. Wait. Okay, got that right. All right, so the Johnnie Walker Red Label was introduced in 1867 as John Walker Old Highland Scotch whiskey. And then they had the Old Highland 12-year. And then in 1909, for whatever reason, John Walker and Sons Company decided to rebrand them as Johnnie Walker Red Label, the 3-year age. This is 3-year age, 3 years, the minimally allowed whiskey, and the Johnnie Walker Black Label, 12-year. But they have been around before 1909. It's kind of like Miller High Life. The company says since 1903. No, Miller High Life has been around since 1855. It was renamed. It used to be called Fred Miller Lager, but it was renamed Miller High Life in 1903. They didn't change the recipe. Well, it has changed. They used to use corn grits. They use corn syrup now, but it's still they use corn products. And actually, if you get on the Miller High Life website or the JohnnieWalker.com website and you research it carefully, you'll notice that they do acknowledge that the product's been around since 1867, and it was just simply renamed and rebranded, and they hired an artist to draw the walking man, the Johnnie Walker. Get it, Walker. All right. Cheap and Foodie says, good morning, Ron, checking in. Good morning to you. So Johnnie Walker, the #1 selling whiskey of any type in the world. True story. Not in the United States. The #1 selling whiskey in the United States is from another Commonwealth country. It's from Canada, another realm of Queen Elizabeth II, Canada. But the #1 Scotch whiskey in the whole world, if you add up all the numbers, is Johnnie Walker Red Label. Now you say, that's a base model. That's the base model. It's only aged 3 years. That's their introductory level. That's the cheap one. I know that. But people like it. You say, it's all marketing. No, because do you think it's not all marketing? It's just people like it. All right. When's the last time you saw Johnnie Walker Red Label commercial on television? When's the last time you saw any Johnnie Walker commercial on television? You know the answer. It's been a long time, if ever. So, now the competitor is Dewar's 15-year age. Introduced in 1998, is age 15 years. They're both 80 proof, so they're not high alcohol. Does this ever get advertisement on TV? You know it does not. It's from Bacardi Limited. Bacardi bought Dewar's. They own Dewar's. They own a lot of people, like Canadian Club, I think. All right. Look, if you catch a hissy fit over buyouts, you better get ready to catch a lot of hissy fits, because these liquor companies get bought out as often as you and I drink a cup of coffee. The craft beer world is sort of starting to come around to that. Like, I remember 10 years ago, these people would go crazy. It would be like, they got bought out. They got bought out. I'll never. Oh, I'll never drink Goose Island again. Look what they did to us. And I remember thinking 10 years, 11 years ago, I was like, what did they do to you? It's a product. You drink it. And then somebody said, we're winning. That was the one statement that really impressed me. We are winning. I said, winning what? The craft beer movement. Oh, great. Oh, that's great. Havana's great. You know, the craft beer movement was started by Anchor Steam in 1971 with the first craft style beer. Oh, really? From a regional huge brewery. I mean, they had gone out of business for a few months and bought out by one of the Maytag family members. You know, Maytag, what do they do that's well known, you know? So the whole thing is like it's like, what's wrong with you? You buy into this? You believe that? It's like, well, that man's for real. His hair is in a bun. He wears a flannel shirt. Him and his wife started the company. I'm like, yeah, but they were bankrolled by SAB Miller, South African Breweries Miller. You know, it's like the whole thing is a fraud. All right, anyway, they're both amber gold, so the appearance won't matter. Do they have coloring added? Probably. You think they're going to get that dark amber by being aged in used barrels where all the char is worn off? I don't think so. But I don't know that. I cannot definitively say that. Hello to you, BC's Beer Reviews. Oh, BC's Beer Reviews. Regardless, I'm going to tell y'all right now, regardless of whether if it's in a bottle or a can, the man's going to review the beer. But enough of the jibber jabber. Let's get on with the review, the taste challenge. Tomorrow, I'm doing promos early. Tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern time, we are going to do Fandango Friday, which is any liqueur or liquor. Any liqueur or liquor you want to review, you want to look at. You say, well, I drink it every week. It's nothing new to me. That's fine. Or it's something new. I never tried Roku Japanese gin. Okay, fine. I never tried Winn-Dixie brand blended Scotch whiskey. No problem. You know what I mean? I never tried this cream liqueur from Pennsylvania. Bartenders. Okay, fine. Now, if you bring milk, that's a problem. It's not a liquor or a liqueur. If you bring beer, that's a problem. It's not a liquor or liqueur. Now we're going to do stouts on Sunday. Sunday at 10:30 Eastern. Stout Sunday. Any porter or stout porter. Any porter or stout porter you can bring. Whether you drink it every day or if you've never had it or you drink it intermittently, you can bring it. It can be weak like Guinness at 4.2. It can be strong like Guinness Foreign Extra Stout at 7.5, or it can be super strong like Goose Island. Bourbon County Stout at 14, sometimes 14.2%. Whatever you want to bring, it doesn't matter. And that is the official Stout Sunday at 10:30. If you see anybody else posting something on a Sunday later in the day at 1:30 Eastern or 2:30 Eastern or 7:30 Eastern, 10:30 Eastern, it's not the official Stout Sunday. It's a mimic. It's an illicit hangout, and it should be viewed as such. What about a White Russian? Yes, I think that would definitely, because you can make your own liqueur. Back when we were only doing liqueurs for about a year or two, we were only allowing liqueurs to come on. But Jean-Pierre was creative, and he said, well, I can make my own liqueur. I can take bourbon and put fruit in it, and then it's a liqueur. I said, right, exactly. So he took some Jim Beam, and he had fruit resting in it. I think he had peaches and sliced grapes or something. So he made his own liqueur. So I said, And you could do the same thing with tomato juice or milk, or the possibilities are endless, honestly. So yeah, we're strict in a way, but in another sense, we're not strict at all. Because think what you could do with liquors and liqueurs. I mean, you could do so many combinations. You could live 1,000 years and do it, and you'd just be getting started. So yeah, you remember when he did that, right? See, so he was creative. He didn't give up. Okay, so Johnnie Walker Red Label. Look at this big bottle. This is going to last me at least 5 years. Age a minimum of 3 years. So there's the age statement. It's age at least 3 years, and probably not a day longer. Usually they'll go like 2 years and a day just to make sure, or 3 years and 1 day. They'll add a day just to make sure they covered the 3 years. Okay, this is age 15 years, which would make sense since it's called age 15 years. It's the Monarch. It's double age, which means this. They take each different whiskey, different malt whiskeys, single malts, different grain whiskeys, which are non-malted column still grain whiskeys made from corn. Typically, doesn't have to be corn, could be any kind of grain, could be oats, could be wheat, or even barley, but it doesn't matter. But they usually use corn because it's cheap. And those are all aged separately. Now, after they age those separately, then they blend them together, whatever equipment they use to blend them. Then they age those again. So between that and that, it adds up to 15 years for the youngest whiskey. Remember, when you see an age statement, that means the youngest whiskey in the blend is, in the case of Johnnie Walker Red Label, 3 years old. In the case of Dewar's 15-year age, the Monarch, 15 years old. So could there be whiskeys in the Dewars that are 25 years old? Yes. Could there be whiskeys in the Johnnie Walker Red Label that are 10, 12 years old? Yes. They could be 1,000 years old, but, of course they're not. But they could be, theoretically, because you have to give the age of the youngest whiskey in the blend. And a lot of companies don't want to do that, so they simply don't give an age statement. And if you look at their websites or write an email to them, they'll say, well, like they told me, Glenn Morey said, well, it's like between 5 and 7 years old. Okay, it's between 5 and 7 years old. So like the youngest whiskey is 5, but the oldest is 7. So, around 6 years old. I can live with that. I don't know why some people catch a conniption over that, but, that's what they do. If you go to Jack Daniels, they say, well, it's at least 4 years old. We're not saying it's exactly 4 years old because we don't want to pay the tax. Like when I went to the Jack Daniels distillery tour, they say, if you give an age statement, you got to pay a tax, like a special tax. They said, well, they didn't want to pay the tax. So they just said, well, oh yeah, it's just old, But they said they never start testing it until it's at least 4 years old. They're not saying it's 4 years old. They're saying they never start tasting it until it's 4 years old and to decide if it needs to go in the barrel. Well, it doesn't take a genius to figure that out. A handle of Red Label is a value for your money, says for FD, made to be mixed, but only the brave drink it straight and find enjoyment. I'm brave and I'm drinking it straight and I'm going to find enjoyment, okay? FD from James P. Madonna said, you're from Manhattan in New York. It is made for a mixer because if you look at the website, it says made for mixing, which would be a good indication that it's made for mixing. All right. Dewar's 15-year age. No, it's made for sipping. It's a sipper. It is a connoisseur's whiskey. Jack Daniels was a great distillery tour. Each employee gets 2 bottles per month. Yeah, the guy was talking about that. He was like, I've been working here for 30 years since I was 18 years old, which means he was 38. Now he's 43. And he was like so dedicated to the brewery. And when some people, there was 2 Scottish guys, they were wearing their long sleeve shirts like they were on a business trip. And so they didn't have the jackets on, but they were obviously in Nashville for some business. I don't know. And they were like, well, in Scotland we do this, and in Scotland we do that, and in Scotland we do this, and in Scotland we do that, and it's way better than American trash, you know, and all of this. And so the guy was like getting really indignant. And he was like, because they were like, well, you know, in Scotland we use casks. And so the Jack Daniels guy said, a cask? That's what you put a dead body in, a casket. Oh, he was getting mad. And I just I wish I'd had my camera on. I was just getting a kick out of it. I was like, okay. And they were like, they said something like, well, you know, it's not real whiskey if it's bourbon. And everybody on the tour was like, what? even just the casual tourists, they were like, what? And well, that guy was getting like, he was getting that Tennessee blood. He was getting angry. Yeah, it's probably not a good idea to go to Tennessee and tell Tennessee people that they don't know whiskey. You probably asking for it, you know, and he was giving it. And he was at work. Just think if he was out of work at a bar, you know, or a tavern. Oh man. Oh, he was getting fiery. I was loving it. I was eating that up. I was like, yeah, this is funny. Oh yeah, and the guys were saying, the two Scottish guys were saying, well, you know, in Scotland we use casks that are sometimes 50 years old. We use casks that are sometimes 50 years old. And then the Jack Daniels guy was like, yeah, we use fresh cask. Y'all too cheap to buy a new cask. Y'all use used stuff. No, I'm serious. He was getting like that angry. He didn't care. I think his training is probably like always protect the brand. If you offend a customer, it doesn't matter. Jack Daniels is #1 Tennessee whiskey in the world. You ain't going to lose to any money. Protect the brand. If somebody comes on the tour and starts talking talk, you protect the brand no matter what. And the guy made his living off of Jack Daniels, so he was getting wild. It was funny though. I enjoyed it, you know. I mean, the tour was $17, probably $27 now. It was not a good value, but you know, it was fun. Hello, FD says BC's Beer Reviews. Oh, BC's Beer Reviews. FD says very loyal employees. Yeah, because the whole town makes their money off Jack Daniels. Hi, BC. Hope all is well with you. There's also a very strict. They are not there like over there, but they are also very strict about saying it's not bourbon but Tennessee whiskey. Well, actually, on the tour, the guy told us it is a bourbon, but we sell it as Tennessee whiskey. He said that in so many words. Actually, because of the charcoal filtration, which, by the way, legally has no relevance to what is a bourbon or a Tennessee whiskey. That's a true story. Very interesting to learn about the Sinatra Select version that they drill out ridges in the cask to enhance the flavors. Oh, I didn't know that. Very. I took a brewery tour. It says Craft Beer-tastic. I took a brewery tour at Yuengling and could not get the tour guide to admit they add corn adjunct to their beer. But they did not deny it, right? They wouldn't admit it, but they didn't deny it. Okay. It's like you watch the news and they say, here we are in Tel Aviv. Did the Israeli government carry out this attack? And then the spokesman will say, Israel knows how to deal with threats. They never deny it. Israel investigates many things, but they didn't ask you that. We know that already. We asked you, were they behind the attack, but they won't say it. I do speak the truth, says Craig. It's like during those congressional hearings in the 1950s. Are you now, or have you ever been? This is funny. Are you now, or have you ever been a member of the Communist Party? Senator, I'm very offended that you would ask me such a question. America was founded in 1775 with the battles of Lexington. And they said, whoa. We didn't ask for a speech about American history. We asked you a simple question. We need a simple answer. I am not here to bow down to your imperialistic questions. This is America. They never asked, and they would never answer the question, which means you know the answer already. Of course, the people asking the question knew the answer already. They were trying to get him on a perjury charge because they knew the guy had joined the Communist Party April 18th, 1941 at 4:37 p.m. and was involved in these various front committees, like the Americans for involvement in the war to liberate the Soviet Union, and whatever, they knew already. But it wasn't illegal to join any kind of party. It could be whatever kind of idea you want to have. You want to join whatever party, join it. But they were trying to get him on a perjury charge, to get him to say, no, I was never never a member of that party. And at first they were getting him, but then the Communist Party, United States of America, was saying, oh, well, don't answer the question. Just go on some long diatribe about American history and Abraham Lincoln and slavery and monopolies. Whatever you do, but don't answer the question. So they were wise to them. So when you go on a tour and you ask a question, they don't answer the question, then you know the answer. You know the answer. Like if you're on a brewery tour and you say, hey, does this brewery use caramel color in their beer? And they get indignant. How dare you ask me that question? America was founded on freedom and diversity and all of these things. We fought we landed on the beaches. We fought on the beaches. We fought in the city streets. I didn't ask you for that. I asked a simple question. So sometimes the refusal to answer a question is the answer. Admit but don't deny it. Tennessee whiskey is bourbon. Right. It obviously is bourbon. Craig Swinson says he's a capitalist. And I'm a federalist. Have you tried the green label Jack Daniels? Yes. I've done many videos. To me, it's better than the black label, but don't tell anybody I said that on the internet. Oh, Lord, I get in trouble. Is it true the same whiskey, just on a different shelf in the warehouse? I would say that Jack Daniels, meaning Brown Foreman, should answer that question. And if you look at jackdaniels.com under FAQ, frequently asked questions, there's an area where they address the green label and they talk about it. That's the only area on the website where they will ever mention the green label, and they talk about why it is used and what it is. So I would say yes, take some time out to look at that. And I did buy it. Actually, it was given to me. I said, I'll pay y'all when you come back from Beaumont, Texas, because I wasn't going there. And they came back and they brought me a liter bottle, actually. They got it for $25 a liter. And I said, oh, yeah. And they said, oh, no, it's a gift. I said, no, I didn't send you out there to give me a gift. Oh, no, they would never allow me to pay him. Okay. Now, my friend that lives in Magnolia, Texas, I say it's Egypt, Texas, but he lives in Magnolia, but it's really Egypt. But he says, he told me he'd been living in Texas since 1998. He said, isn't that the regular Jack Daniels? I said, the green label. He said, yeah, that's the regular one, the one that you see everywhere. I said, no, it's the black label. You see the black label everywhere. He said, well, not in Texas. He said, in Texas, everybody got the green label. That's the regular one. The regular one. He kept saying, the regular one, the regular one. I said, no, it's only sold in like 5 states now. He was like, what? And my father was telling me a story back from like about 1974, 75, where he had to go to a wedding and he had to buy the whiskey. We weren't going to pay a lot. So he said he went to a liquor store, meaning in Louisiana, a grocery store. And he told the guy, he said, why they got a green label and a black label Jack Daniels? He said, the green label is a lot cheaper. This is back when Louisiana got it. And he said the guy selling it was like, nah, they just like the same thing, But they was like, give me the green label. So he went to the wedding. He said, everybody drank it. They didn't care. All right. Yeah, this is like standard. Talking about standard things, this is just like sweet, honey-like, sugar water, fermented cereal grain whiskey. Like it could be Canadian, Scotch, Irish, American. Like really, it's not. There's no differentiation. You say, what about the smoke? No, there isn't any. What about the peat? No, nope. Yeah, it's kind of the same. Now remember, Johnnie Walker Red Label is owned by Diageo, and the Bacardi and the Dewar's is owned by Bacardi. Yeah, maybe there is some peatiness to this, but I mean, it really isn't. Okay. Okay, so remember now, Jack Daniels you can get in some cases $19.99 for a bottle, and you're going to pay $39.99 for the Bacardi 15-year age. $29.39. That's $20 more. Do you really want to pay $20 more? Are you going to get anything better? You say, well, that's 12 years longer. It's aged 12 years longer. What are you, a fool? Are you what does James P. Madonna call people? Those jabronis? Are you a jabroni? Or are you a nitwit? I'm not any of those things, but wow, a liter for $25 is great for the green label. Yep, that's what they paid in Beaumont, Texas. What's the difference between the green label and black label? Oh, well, like I said, go to jackdaniels.com and go under frequently asked questions, FAQ, and they'll talk about what it is, the difference. It's not, there is a difference. It's not the same thing, no. Same alcohol level, 80 proof, but it's not the same product. Nope. Not even the same name. The black label is called Jack Daniels Old Number 7. Old Number 7. The Jack Daniels green label is called Jack Daniels Number 7. Pay attention. Pay attention. Jack Daniels Number 7 and Jack Daniels Old Number 7. Not the same product. So aroma, honestly, monetarily, there's no, they look the same and the aroma is the same. Like, so I wouldn't pay $1 more, much less $20 more on aroma, but this is a taste challenge. Let's see, one is less aged and on the top shelves of the warehouse. Oh, you were looking at the website, huh? Right. Yeah. The green, it's the green label. The green label is younger and it gets exposure to elements that are not good for aging. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't, well, what they mean is it's the ones they don't dare bottle in the black label. It's the ones that they reject. It's the reject. They say, oh, it's not, it doesn't measure up to what we want. But we ain't dumping it. They're not going to waste it. So they put it in the green label. Do people notice a big difference? No, because most people are not whiskey connoisseurs. The single barrel Jack Daniels is pretty good too. Yes, I agree. Craft Beer Tastic, did you ever have Gentleman Jack? I think they consider that sipping whiskey. I have had Gentleman Jack, but only about an ounce in my life. And there's another story with that. That's not as special as you think. The tour guide told us that. He's a tour guide, but that's another story. It's actually a lot less special than you think. All right, cheers. Nougat, honey, sugar water, honeysuckle, a little dab of caramel and vanilla. Is it really special, exciting, and new? Come aboard. They're not expecting you because this is regular. It's just normal. I like it. But it's not anything I would run out and pay. I wouldn't pay $39.99 for it. Oh, no. You say, well, you did. You bought all the bottles. Yeah, but I paid $37.39, I think. $37.39. All right. Been my boss. Oh, I smell smoke. That must be Jack Daniels Red Label because Jack Daniels has smoke. It must have some Islay Scotch in it. Single malt. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My friend from California used to always say that. Oh, yeah. I used to say, isn't it? Oh, yeah. What is yeah? He'd always say that. Oh, yeah. I said, you California people have some strange, like, diction, you know, like strange pronunciation. Like they would say, every year he'd come back and say, we have a new word. First it was cool, everything was cool. And then everything was boss. Oh, that's boss. So then we went through the whole summer. That's boss. Oh, those wheels are boss. That movie was boss. Okay, now the next year, no, everything was tubular. Tubular. That's too. No, honestly, that came out later. It was gnarly. Oh, that's gnarly. That's gnarly. That drink is gnarly. Oh, those puppets are gnarly. That movie was gnarly. Oh, those action figures are gnarly. And then it was tubular. I said, well, and I remember saying, Johnny, do y'all go to the beach all the time? He said, some people go to the beach. But most people don't go to the beach. It's too cold. All right. California is cold. You think California is warm. It's not warm. All right. I've been to California. It was cold. Well, except when they had the heat wave and it was 101 at the California Angels game, the Los Angeles Anaheim Angels game. Oh, it was so hot. Cheers Run says Bumpy Road Brewery. Thank you. I watched y'all's video last night where Eric said that anybody can do Stout Sunday, and I don't believe that is the case. But we'll see what happens with that. John and Illy just sent me a message Sunday saying, I want you to do, he sent me a message Sunday. I want you to do Stout Sunday every Sunday until I can come back. And then I'm watching the video and it's like, anybody can do Stout Sunday at any time. I was like, what? What? We're going to have 5 different Stout Sundays with 2 people each? I said, wait a minute. Why am I doing this? I told John and Illy, I said, I don't think I need to do Stout Sunday anymore if everybody's going to do it. There's no point to that. We'll see what happens. Cheers, Ron. Different culture out there. They say dude a lot and gnarly a lot and hella. This drink is hella good. Yeah. Well, you know, California. If I had to pay $7 a gallon for gas, I'll say that's hella good too. And then I put a gun to my head. All right. Well, do these whiskeys taste alike? No. Do they taste different? Yes. Is the Dewar's 15-year age $20 better? I don't think so. Because in my opinion, this is simply my opinion. It's not even an opinion. Scratch that. It's not an opinion. It's a preference. In my preference, I prefer, you know, I would choose to drink a smoky whiskey over a honeyed whiskey. Okay. It's not a preference. I mean, it's not even an opinion. It's just a preference. So I would rather now you might take the direct opposite approach or preference. I would rather the smoky. So I like the smoky, salty, seashore or whatever they say, aspects of Johnnie Walker Red Label. Now, some people think it's terrible. I've seen so many reviews, like they would rather be thrown off a cliff, rolled through barbed wire, and beat with whips than drink it. And I said, well, it tastes good to me. I mean, but it's the same people that hate Budweiser, you know. Budweiser, oh no, it's the worst. People who say Budweiser is the worst beer obviously have never drank either Earthquake or Camo. If you drink Camo, you're going to think Budweiser is the best beer in the world. I love the smoky qualities. So I want to drink, you know what I want to do? I want to drink all the Isla smoky whiskeys that Diageo uses in their blends. And I want to drink them straight. And I don't want to drink them watered down. I want the full smoke attack. That is what I want to do. Johnnie Walker wins because it has the smoky qualities that I love. Clearly, Johnnie Walker Red Label. But that doesn't mean it's better. It's just a personal thing. All right, now, obviously, this is the Dewar's 15-year age. Do I like the 15-year age? No, I love it. I don't like it. I love it. It's great. It's a really good product, especially if you love honey and sweet notes and honey. honey top bread and honey biscuits and honey this and honey that. And I listened to ABBA and they were playing Honey Honey. All right. And I had honeycomb cereal and I called my girlfriend Honey. All right. We get it. It's very good in that regard. But still, when you get down to it, showing respect to both. I'm showing respect to both. You know me. I'm a duo by respectable. I got pride in my duo by respectability. I self-identify as a by respectable person. I can respect both products. But still, I don't think I pay $20 more. I know I wouldn't pay $20 more. Let's be frank. I would not pay $20 more. You might, I won't. Is it really a $20 better product? No, I don't agree with that. Now, the red label, it's got a little bitiness to it. You know, it's got a little bitiness. You know, you insulted him a little bit. You were a little out of order yourself. You insulted him a little bit. You know, so it's not totally refined, but I just like the smokiness, you know. Drinks. Billy, the drinks on the house. All right, so but what I recommend the Dewar's, I would recommend it, especially if you don't mind paying $39.99 for a 750 milliliter bottle. But I would rather pay $19.99. All right, so I got it right. And now what's coming up next? You know what's coming up next. The epitome, the epiphany, the Constantinople, Johnnie Walker Blue Label, Johnnie Walker Blue Label. Now, Johnnie Walker Blue Label has not exactly lived up to the $226 plus tax that I paid, but I knew it wasn't going to do that when I bought it. Or I didn't figure it would. How could it? All right, let's look at the comments. All right. Different culture out there. Oh, yeah, you're talking about the California. All right, so Bumpy Road Brewery says, I wish I could join Stout Sunday. It would make work a lot more exciting. Oh, if you could join Stout Sunday while you were at work. Yes, but that might result in you not being at work due to the fact that you were excused from going to work due to termination. Moment of truth now. Red Label for the win. Easy victory. Yes, yes, yes. In my opinion, now, other people would rather be cut with knives, stabbed, thrown off the Mississippi River Bridge, then beat with clubs and buried alive in a shallow grave in a cornfield in Indiana than to drink Johnnie Walker Red Label. I don't understand that, but I would rather drink Johnnie Walker Red Label. Goodfellas, laughing out loud, says Shattered Glass 98. Goodfellas. Oh, I've heard of that movie. I have that movie on a CD, on a D. What do you call that? A CD? No, that's audio. A DVD, audio and video. Yes, I have that. I have that. I have that DVD in my collection. I thought you said, I thought you said I'm all right, Spider. Blue Label will beat Red Label every day of the week and twice on Tuesday. Yes, we would hope. But now, will Johnnie Walker Blue Label beat Dewar's 15? Are you? Of course it's going to win. I wouldn't even watch. I would recommend that you don't even watch the video. You know it's going to win. But be that as it may, I'm still going to do the video Saturday morning at dawn. $226 versus $39.99. Well, still not going to justify the price, but anyway, whatever. And then we're going to do the Chivas Mitsunara. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. I think Chivas Regal Mitsunara Japanese oak is going to win. I think it's going to beat the 15-year age Dewars. And well, actually, it's not going to win because the the Mitsunara is about $7 more expensive, at least, maybe $10 more. Oh, never mind. Disregard that statement. Don't watch on Sunday. All right. 100% it will win. It will. I can't even watch this beat down. Yeah, because punks jump up. I remember one time somebody told me that punks jump up to get beat down. All right. Thanks, everybody.